insulating in my new studio.
Are you cold?
I'm a little cold.
It's time to get the insulation in, isn't it?
I think so. It's so cold in here, my painting is turning to ice.
You know Home Hardware sells insulation, right?
I'll go get my keys. My name is Elysia English and welcome to my channel. If you're new to my channel, you want to catch up on this series because I built my very own tiny home studio build. I teamed up with Home Hardware and did an all-women build, and it's pretty epic, so you don't want to miss it. If you've been following this series, today is the day where we finally get insulation into this space. We live in Ontario, Canada, and it gets really cold in the winter, like minus 30 plus, and I absolutely know that I'm going to freeze in this space if we don't get this place well insulated. So today is insulation day, and we're going to get some poly on the plastic underneath. All of our electrical work has been completed, and we are ready to go to the interior space parts of this project. It's super exciting. Let's get working.
To see from the moment we arrive.
Before we get started with today's video, I have a small announcement to make. First, I want to thank everyone so much for all of the support you guys have given me this year on my Etsy shop. I absolutely love being an Etsy shop owner, and it's amazing to me that you guys are so supportive, so thank you guys so much for everyone who's ordered on my shop. I wanted to make an announcement to let you know some changes that will be happening to my Etsy store. Due to the world issues, which are obviously out of everyone's hands, shipping times are really extended. Every shipping company is behind right now, and it's really difficult for shops like mine to get things processed in time to actually make it to their destinations in a timely fashion. Items are leaving my shop super fast, but are really getting stuck in transport, especially if they have to cross border. And so I've made the decision, which is really tough for me, to actually put a hold on my Etsy shop. If you've placed an order, please know that your order is coming. Everything's delayed, but I wanted to give you guys an opportunity. In the next 48 hours, I'm going to be leaving my paintbrushes up on my shop due to the last deliveries that I plan on doing for 2020. It's a difficult decision, but I know it's best for my shop. I don't want to let anyone down with shipping times, and so I've made this decision. 48 hours, I'll be closing at 8 p.m. on Sunday evening. Will be the last orders that I'll be taking on my Etsy store for my paintbrushes this year. If you're interested in ordering some of the brushes, they're available in 4 different colors and 2 different sizes. You can go in the link in the description box down below to my Etsy shop and order before the deadline of Sunday at 8 p.m. For the interior space, we're using some thermal home insulation. This can be used in your basements, in your houses, interior, exterior. It's going to really warm this place up so I don't have to be freezing while I'm creating in here all winter. What we're doing right now is actually cutting it into the sizes to fit into in between all of the wall joists that we have. And this is going to give us a lot of protection. We want to make sure that everything is covered in this space. Super easy to cut. We're actually scoring it and putting around where there's any wires, where the electrical is, making sure that everything's going to be nice and warm. Once this is all completed, ceiling and all the 4 walls, we'll be putting on a thick clear poly plastic that goes around and gets stapled around the whole building on the inside. We also have put in pot light barriers, vapor barriers, all the wiring and electrical and everything has all been done. So these are really the final steps before we can get an inspection to be able to do our drywall, which means that this place is really coming to life.
Wish I could say I was finally over you, but that's not the truth. Everyone always keep falling in.
The next part for us is to actually get some acoustic sealant and some poly to surround our actual insulation. Because we live in such a cold climate, this is a really important step to make sure that we don't get any moisture in our building. So we're going to go along all of the seams and we're going to seal up all of the edges up to the roof here. There's going to be insulation all along the top, but until we start stapling that poly on, it's very hard to keep the insulation up on the ceiling. So Philip and I are going to finish that once we do the side walls. So I'm going to use the acoustic sealant and seal all of the edges around the window, around the perimeter, and seal up any joints that are going to be where the poly is overlapping itself. You don't want to have a lot of seams. You want to try to run your poly all the way around the perimeter of the building. That way, the less seams, the less vapor you're going to get coming in. So we're going to work on that process now. So staticky if I wasn't in braids, my hair would be out to here. In front of me.
What when I'm putting my poly on, I'm not gonna adhere it with the staples right up at the top because I'm gonna put my sound barrier caulking on. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna put my staples a little bit lower so then at the end I can adhere the caulking and then not make a complete mess out of the place.
This stuff is super messy, right?
Yeah, and I'm gonna do the same at the end here. I'm only gonna staple down here, but I'm not gonna staple all the way at the very end because I wanna put that caulking on.
So we'll have lots of length on the bottom that we'll cut off after. We have used our pneumatic stapler for so many projects. It's such a handy tool to have around.
Once I have my 4 corners stapled in, I'm gonna go around now and straighten everything out, staple all my studs in.
My precious, I need more staples. Give me the staples, my precious.
I'm all out.
And you cut.
Cut!
Poly's all on. And we are running out of daylight. Unfortunately, we don't have electricity hooked up until we have the inspection and the drywall is in. So it could be a moonlit insulating session.
We can do it.
Okay, so we had to get an industrial sized caulking gun here. It was a jumbo size. It definitely is bigger. I would say like 10 times bigger than a regular caulking tube. And
yeah, these things are huge.
Huge. And I wouldn't think that most people probably own one of these. So we went to use it and I was like, oh, we have like 6 caulking guns for normal size, but not this. So we headed to the hardware store to be able to grab the one that we needed. Probably won't use it very often, but I guess it's good to own one. Acoustic Sealant is what we're using, right?
Yes. This stuff's forever tacky.
So we left the overhang of the poly so that we could put the staples lower and then be able to just fold up the poly where the sealant is. That will eliminate some of the mess.
Keep thinking that I could have done something.
I'm gonna go around the whole perimeter of the wall and then around the windows and any seams.
No waking up beside you and holding you till we forget it all. How could I know there was no second chances? Like domino,
I need more staples.
my life got really scattered. You couldn't keep the door shut, and now the frostbite's creeping in. 'Cause I've been stone cold since you left me here.
And then we have overages on the top here to be able to fold up to the roof so we can make our seams that way. And then we'll be able to wrap it all the way around the building this way. We know that this part of the project isn't the most exciting part, but this is one more step closer to us being able to get all of our gorgeous things that we've accumulated to put into this space together. What we're doing now is finishing this up. Philip and I are gonna work through the night and get all of the insulation, poly, and all of the sealant done. That way we'll be able to call the inspector and let her know she can come by, do the final inspection before we can get on our drywall, which drywalling means that we can actually get our puttying and our painting and our flooring into this space before our final reveal. So we are so excited that this part of the project is almost complete so we can actually show you what the interior space is going to look like. If you're new to our channel, be sure to subscribe and follow along on this series where I created my very own tiny home studio as an all-woman build. Philip's helping me with the interior because he was dying to get behind the camera while I did the build, and I know I can do all this stuff myself. It's something that I've really done before, so I'm happy to have some help doing this interior space. Thank you guys so much for watching. We love you, and we will see you on our next update. Bye.
Bye.